Following from the last video of how to give feedback constructively, today I want to focus on how we handle criticism constructively without getting worked up and being defensive, and therefore strengthening our resilience to handle these difficult situations. Now, in real life, not everyone who gives us feedback is going to be tactful or understands proper reflective techniques to engage someone constructively without making them feel defensive and antagonized. Sometimes the criticism given to us can be downright brutal, and I've had many thrown directly at my face. So the other day, for example, someone told me, "Hey, looks like you've just put on weight." And I was really taken aback. Now, you would think someone in my physical condition, that would be an insignificant comment that could be easily brushed off. But actually, it really hurt me. And I think it goes back to some 10 years ago when I was overweight, and those comments would really hit me hard. So my first reaction was to be defensive, right? I was almost going to say, "Hey, just a few weeks ago I completed an Ironman 17.3 triathlon race, and I'm going through a recovery period phase right now, so I've slowed down my training to allow my body to adapt, and yeah, I've put on 1 or 2 more kilos, but you try completing a triathlon." But I have to understand that this is a natural impulse. Being defensive is actually an evolutionary trait. Since our ancient ancestors roamed the planet, it's often better to overreact to a potential threat as a survival instinct, right? Because if you're walking down a trail in the jungle and you see something long and dark across the path, you should jump and be alarmed, right? Never mind that 99% out of 100, that turns out to be just a piece of wood. Because the 1 in 100 chance that it becomes a poisonous snake, you could die if you let your guard down to this potential threat. So here's a test. When you receive a piece of tough criticism, do you A, criticize them back and point out their own faults? Or B, do you start explaining with arguments and opinions about why their points are wrong and all your excuses come out? Or C, do you stop and think about what are the critical hidden messages that might be in that criticism? Now, I know it's difficult to not be defensive and reactive when accusations are hurled at us. But here's one way to deal with it, that we can use curiosity as a way to respond rather than react impulsively to criticism, with one simple phrase. When someone criticizes you, pause and then say, "Tell me more." And you might be surprised that they start to elaborate, and sometimes in their criticism of you, they might be reflecting their own issues that they're wrestling with. So next time when someone talks to you in a way that makes you feel bad, turn around, pause, and then nod your head slowly and say, "Please tell me more." Even better, repeat what they've told you. So your point is that I'm this or I did that, right? Can you please elaborate? That signals to them that you are listening and validating the point that they've made, even if you may not agree. And that can help diffuse a potentially hostile confrontation. Remember, we can't win arguments or fight criticism with counter arguments. And I'll elaborate more on this in the coming video.